guys are here. We're here again. Look, we're doing some. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. Oh wait, nobody's here. Look, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. We're doing some beta testing. There's new stuff going on. So you guys just bear with us. If things aren't as smooth as they usually are, notifications are the same way. It's hard to know where exactly we are with the new stuff. So bear with us. We didn't even have a thumbnail. We didn't really, do anything crazy. So I'm gonna have to share this like an old school streamer does. And
it's a galaxy far, far away, dog. It don't matter.
That's it. It's a galaxy far, far away. Everything.
I am literally broadcasting from the outer rim. So
there you go.
Well, and I got my compatriots here. Shiva's here. We got Fox here. We're gonna do some potential. See, and I made a good thumbnail, dude. I made a good thumbnail for this stream.
And then it just
don't you love it? I love it when that happens.
I'm really bummed out. I made a good thumbie. I was really prepared, and it just went all to waste. That's it. I had a good thumbie. We were inbound, ready to go.
Dale, what up?
So yeah, I'm sure people are gonna be trickling in. Get out there, get into your communities and share this out so that we can figure some stuff out and get this party going proper. But yeah, man, how are you guys doing? I haven't seen you in a week.
I'm doing pretty good. I don't know how you're doing, Hawks, but I'm solid. It's been a busy week for me. A lot going on around the lair, so just excited for this mid-season finale. Getting 2 episodes tomorrow for the Bad Batch. It's exciting time.
So it's a mid-season finale then.
That's what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Because we are
calling it that.
Well, we're
I'm just kidding.
Two episodes in the middle of the season. It feels kind of like a mid-season finale. Obviously.
Oh wait, we're getting
not
two.
Really.
We're getting
we are getting
episodes. That's
episodes 7 and 8 are going to be dropping tomorrow night, and they're going to be titled "The Clone Conspiracy" and something. Truth and Consequences is episode.
Was the
8.
show not delayed? The show was originally moved back.
Initially, it was, yes.
Okay, and now they're showing 2 back. Like, what was that planned? Do you think
it was planned?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how long is the hiatus?
Oh, quite
I'm
a while.
Speculating. I'm just speculating.
Yeah. I mean, let's think about it this way. They had almost 2 years for in between Bad Batch seasons. That's how I think. 2020 now, 2021. Now it's 2023. So basically 2 years between seasons, and they pushed the second one back because it was supposed to be end of 2022. So it seems like it was, the 2 episodes are likely coinciding together, and it's going to be kind of a mid-season finale, which is why I'm calling it that. And I think it could be kind of the start of either a Clone Rebellion or the start of maybe Crosshair's redemption arc.
Okay. All right. I can get behind that. I mean,
I'm on board with that redemption arc. I think that's going to
happen. It's definitely time to, start progressing the story along a little further, right? A little faster, a little more energy. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm super pumped. I think that it's a good time to really start getting out there and breaking down this, this Omega stuff and this Crosshair stuff. We've been kind of on these adventures of like, oh yeah, let's do this, smiley happy time. And, it's not really that way, right? We got to break into the stories just to make a bunch of people happy, right? Myself included.
Facts though. I mean, it is time for it to kind of get going with the Empire storyline, because a lot of people have been like, oh, like, what's the story of Bad Batch, or what's the point of it? We kind of talked about that last week when we all got together. But I think it's starting to kind of go that direction, or everything's been kind of building off of the first season to what we're going to see here later in season 2. So it's time to pick it up. I think it's time to get into the Empire, and it's time to do it. You know what I mean? It's time to get this show on the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this is a big time when the transition from, clones overall, you're going to stop seeing them in charge. Apparently they're completely disposable to the Empire. So, You see a bunch of them start getting shot in the back. You see a lot of them starting to defect. So this is the time when they're going from, TK stuff, clone commanders, CCs, and these different clone commanders to TK units and Imperial commanders, Imperial lieutenants, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see more of this, this style of good soldiers follow orders mentality, right? You're going to start to see this more and more as we move forward on this journey in the Bad Batch, right? Omega is going to become a big center point to this. She's on, she's on deck to get a big story.
For
No,
sure.
yeah, I feel like they've been setting her up to be kind of that Ahsoka character, like we've been talking about, kind of, or even Ezra. Just she is the focal point of the Bad Batch. It's really kind of about her. So yeah, it is set up for her to have a big story, and really, I think the whole Bad Batch as a show is her big story. We're meeting her in the beginning. She's taking her first steps off of Camino in the first couple of episodes of the season. It really is kind of introducing us to this character and building her story as we progress in kind of a long way, in a long form, which I always love when Star Wars does that.
Right. I mean, I think it's a big part of what makes this story great is that they have been rope-a-doping a little bit, right? There is people want to talk about a lot of filler, right? I feel like all of these stories have a destination, right? There's
meaningful filler.
Even
a lot of it, I feel like,
even if it's meaningful filler, even if it's filler on a meaningful scale, it's still really important to the furtherment, maybe not of this story, right? I've been saying this about Bad Batch for a while. Maybe what if this is the story of how Grogu is rescued, right? Maybe those Coruscant episodes portions are at the end, and maybe the Bad Batch sacrifices themselves for Grogu, and Sid is paying that debt because we see the scoundrels that are protecting Grogu. They're not Imperial. They're not, Republic. They're mercenaries. I mean, what does our man, our Ognot say?
Wheel.
What does Wheel say? He's like, this place has been like this for as long as I can remember. And he's another species that lives a very long time, like Yoda, like Wookiees. The Ognots live this very long time. So to them, they've been here a while. That could be a 50, a 40, 50 year thing, when Grogu is 50 at this point, and it's X amount of time after the Empire, Sid could have been paying back that debt, is what I'm saying.
There could be any number of reasons they find out or they may find out there were children Jedi at the temple they didn't even know about, something like that. I could easily see Omega just telling them, no, we are doing this, and they go do it, because every time she stands up, even for Gunji, she was the first person to say, no, you're not doing that. And they all backed her at this point. So who knows, right, man? At some point, she could just be calling all the shots.
Well, and I mean, this is, our favorite little dude is absolutely a center point of what the Star Wars universe is right now, right? Like Grogu is very much this, how can I put this? Everybody feels like Grogu's the moneymaker, right? Grogu's the moneymaker, right? I mean, his toys, his, all this action figures, the story of Grogu, the cloud of mystery, if you will, around Grogu, right? I mean, that's, the cloud of mystery, right? Like exactly. That's for me, that's a big part of what makes Grogu interesting to people, right? So what better way than to show this story of these clones and kind of rope-a-dope the whole fandom around well, who are these Bad Batch? Why do we care? But at the end of it, if like they're the reason Grogu is safe in a way, this story gets even better.
That's
and
true.
What I was saying by like meaningful filler too is I hope a lot of this can spawn off into other series. Like they keep name dropping all these places with treasures, and it's like this Indiana Jones feel. Like I would love Dr. Aphra to just show up in one of these episodes as they're like exploring some random named thing that pirate is like, oh, we should go check out this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, man.
So it could go anywhere.
It's definitely a story that we don't know where. We know the ending, right? I mean, come on, let's be real. We know the ending. They're going to die, right? Whether Omega is safe and gets put somewhere else, whether this is that. At the end, I just kind of feel like we know the end of this story, right? I mean, it's
likely sacrifice. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's kind of the same way that Rebels was, and a lot of us kind of wondered, oh, like, is the whole Rebels crew gonna die? We don't see them in the original trilogy and everything. It's like, yeah, like most likely they will either die or sacrifice themselves, or some of them might not make it.
How do I say this? There's a very good chance that the entire squad gets the
gets the caboose.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just feel like this would be a great and what a fitting way for Dave to tell a story, right? It's not just, oh, here's a Bad Batch, here's a bunch of these guys. No, it's the story of not only is it Omega, right? But it's Grogu also, right? Like what other character would sacrifice themselves more than Omega, right? For a little Grogu. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, she nearly sacrifices herself for a droid at the end of season 1, so
that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of that in her, and at the end of the day, I could see this being a very good twist on it, so to speak.
Yeah,
oh, go for it, Hawks. What you got? Real quick, I will say it's hilarious that we're saying, filler episodes that have meaning. It's like it's another contradictory thing, like positive toxicity. You know what I mean?
Let's take I mean, there's only a couple of us in here right now. Like I said, we didn't really get to post this and make it go crazy like we normally would have, and with a little pregame. But for us, we're gonna do a poll right now. We're gonna start it. It's the first 15 minutes. And
actually, I got some big brain speculation I'm going to save until later. So, because I think it would be a cool topic of discussion. A canon thing that's approaching, I think, that no one's really talking about because it's ancillary material. But
okay, so we have that's a weird showing. But okay, here's what we're going to do. So basically, it's showing you what we're going to do. Use quotation marks in the chat. There it is. Happy birthday. In the quotation marks, use the word that you want to submit as your answer. So basically, oh, that's interesting.
Thanks, that boy, Steve.
What the heck? So can we?
Right. Okay, so cool. This is
vote for Big Brain Hawks. Yep.
Okay. We're winding this down.
It's any keyword.
I guess it is any keyword. So which is crazy. So you're supposed to put things in quotations.
Happy birthday on you.
So whatever you want in quotations. And the question is Bad Batch filler? Just yes or no. That's it. Yes. No. In quotations. This is new stuff. We're trying new things here. Is it filler? Yes or no?
Oh, but I meant to vote no.
I know. You did.
You're in there twice.
Messed it up. Way to boomer it. Okay. Technical issues.
Is there a difference between capital no and lowercase no?
There is not. I just have my caps locked.
Double check. You just double check.
So this is our new poll system. We're trying it out. We're seeing how the poll system works. Right now it's tied, but Hawks and I both put. I'm in the yes column a couple times. But this is a new. This new technology. We haven't figured out if we can change the colors. We haven't really. This is new, but we're interested in getting your guys' opinion. This new software we're trying tonight is actually really great, and Opus is the name. OUPS. This is beta, so we're not even in the mass production. Everybody using it yet, and they were gracious enough to give us the opportunity to play with this technology. So we're giving it a whirl, and this is one of the features that we're going to try using more often. Is this poll feature? Who put octopus?
Octopus?
I don't think the quotations matter. You can put any word, any keyword.
Apparently, any keyword works. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and throw this. We're going to make this full screen. Maybe.
Clearly it's octopus.
Clearly it's octopus. But look, yeah, Opus, OUPS, not octopus. Get your octopus out of here. Octopus. Okay, so the consensus is we're going to stop collecting. The consensus is that it's not filler. So that's fantastic. Also, guys, if you've noticed the raining emojis, so feel free to emoji the ever-loving hell out of us here. And the emojis are going to start falling from the sky, like raining emojis coming down. So feel free to use that. There's a whole bunch of new features we're going to check out over the course of this stream. So stick around, tell your friends, throw emojis at us, good, bad, and ugly. See, there we go. There's some fire. It's getting hot in here. There's some love and laughter. So these are new. This is new stuff we're trying out. But there's also something we're going to try out just for you guys a little later. So stick around. We're going to have you scan a QR code here, and it's going to be so much fun. So be sure and hang out for that. But let's talk
holocrons. The holocrons got vetoed.
The holocrons don't work yet.
No red triangles.
But let's talk about what I've been dying to talk about. Is this Mandalore? Mandalore seems to be the lore right now. Right? Mandalore is all the lore. So
time frame.
See what you did there?
See what I did there? So Mandalore seems to be what everybody's hyped about. The Mandalorian, right? Where are we going? I mean, what it's only a couple weeks away, guys. I mean, you got to remember, this is February, right? This is February. So it's going to be really, really, really soon. I mean, weeks away. So what do you guys
think? A Star Wars timeline. Someone's got to give me a Star Wars timeline. How far are we? Like, Battle of Endor took place when? When is
Battle of Endor was
like
5 years ago from the beginning of Mandalorian. At this point, what would it be like?
I think it's
Bad
6.
Batch, though, is taking.
I think it's 6, maybe 7, because it's season 3 now. So maybe 7, but I don't think it's been 3 years. If I'm being
what
honest.
about Bad Batch? Is that because that's shortly after Order 66?
Immediately after.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So as soon as at Order 66 happens, we are months after at this point.
I think it's 6 months after in season 2, or just about. But yeah, with Mando, that's I honestly don't even know. Like I know we were probably going back to Mandalore for Din Djarin to try and atone for his sins, but then it's 100%. Like from there, it's I don't really know. Are we going to have a uniting of the Mandalorians that's been kind of teased in the trailers? Is Grogu going to get his own armor or helmet or something? I mean, he did kind of get his own armor in the Book of Boba, so
he got baby armor. Yeah, he got baby armor. That's like a onesie, right? That's like a Grogu onesie. It's not even a real thing. It's real armor.
True. But with all this filler talk, it makes me wonder if we're going to get any kind of fillery episodes in season 3 of Mando, because people will refer to the Frog Lady episode as kind of a filler in season 2. So I'm wondering if there could be any episodes where we, take our time a little bit here with the season, although of course it is 8 episodes. So they gotta, use their time wisely with Mando.
Well, that's just it, is that I feel like Mando is going to be all Mandalore all the time, aside from gathering the Mandalorians. Oh, be careful. Those are fighting words right now. You better be careful. Those are fighting words right now. People are fired up about the Wikipedia.
Oh, geez.
The Wikipedia. People are fired. It's fire, baby. People are mad as a dog at a hubcap factory. But look, I mean, aside from Din Djarin going to find other Mandalorian coverts, right? So immediately, we're going to see the armor right out of the gate, right? As soon as we see Din, we're going to see the armor. Like, no doubt in my mind.
You think it'll be that quick?
Yeah. It has to be.
Do you think he goes? Okay, so do you think he goes back to her to go to Mandalore because he has no idea how to get there, or do you think she's already there when he shows up?
He goes back to take her with him, right? He goes back and says, "I'm going back to Mandalore."
So who sits on whose lap in the N1 on the way there?
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, but when he goes back to Mandalore, he has the Mandalorian fighter. He's not in the Grogu.
The
that's
Grogu hers originally.
That's what I'm saying.
What if it's hers originally?
That's what I'm
saying.
Keep
thinking she was a Mandalorian. What if she's just got that hidden somewhere? Where he went to visit her the first time? Like,
oh, I have no doubt that's how she got away with all her stuff, because she's got a big
cauldron. Man.
Those are big ships, man. Those are actually designed to hold many Mandalorian droppers, right? They're designed to be large. So I have no doubt that, that she definitely had that. He goes back in the N1. He's like, look, it's either going to go, he goes back to her first to find out where the other coverts are, because he can't just find other coverts across the galaxy. She knows where everybody is, right? Because they all come to her for armor, right? So no doubt that she knows where all the Mandalorian coverts are. So for me to go back to her first and say, look, I'm going back to atone for my sins. I want to take you with me. Let's reestablish Mandalore. And boom, she's on board. They're hunting other coverts. They're gathering troops before they go see Bo-Katan.
Interesting. I mean, I haven't really put too much thought into this. Like, I've had a theory for a while of how Mando 3, I think, should start. And I do think that it's possible, because in the Book of Boba Fett, it's never really explained to Din Djarin, like, hey, Grogu chose to be with you. Like, yeah, he's wearing the chainmail and he came back, but no one ever tells Din, yeah, Grogu's done with his training with Luke. That's all over. It's like weird to me how that's left kind of ambiguous and in the air, because R2, if you guys didn't realize, that he's the one that drops off Grogu, and he's kind of like, yo, I'm in a rush, like I need to get the hell out of here. And
Grogu is controlling the family of ants, our ant robots, right? So he's telling them how to build the temple. So while he's gone, temple construction is on hiatus, right? That's kind of how I gathered that Ahsoka was hanging with R2 while Grogu and Luke were doing their thing, right? Like, that's just kind of how it seems. So it seems like R2, because as soon as Din got there, R2's like, androids, bench for my guy, please. He needs somewhere to sit. Bench, please. Right. So as soon as he got there, so it just seems to me that while he's delivering Grogu, the ants are kind of like, what do I do?
Well, yeah, but it makes me wonder, because Din doesn't know that Grogu's training is done. Like, again, no one specifically told him, hey, he's done with his training. He kind of just shows up on Tatooine, and it's like, Peli's like, I don't know what the heck happened. He was dropped off by a droid. It just happened. It's right. To me, the two of them are blasting off at the end of the Book of Boba Fett. to go back to Luke Skywalker to talk to him, because again, Mando doesn't know anything. He's kind of just like, I was just there, and Ahsoka said that I need to leave. Why is he here now? Are we done training him? Does he need more? I think they're going to have a conversation, and I honestly, you sparked my brain here. I think he'll go to Bo-Katan first, because the armorer already gave him his mission. Just like she kind of gave him the mission to bring Grogu back to his people, he doesn't go back to the armorer to be like, where do I go? What's my first step? He tries to find Mandalorians and different people to help him find who can basically point him in the right direction. And if anybody knows where Mandalore is going to be, it's probably Bo-Katan,
Well, but Bo-Katan's already there. That's the thing, is she's already sitting in the owl's nest, right? Like, she's already got her
Well,
base.
that's what we see from the trailer, but is she?
I
The
mean,
last time we saw her, she was taking Moff Gideon's cruiser.
no, but what I'm saying is that she's obviously got a stronghold on Mandalore, right? Because she makes it seem, well, she says it. She's like, well, that's what you've been told. I know better. I'm there,
Okay.
right? Like, everybody's like, that planet's glass and that planet's garbage and the Empire did this, and it's like, no. She's like, no, don't believe everything you hear. I live there, right? I'm there every day fighting the fight, and so it just seems, based on what we saw in the trailer, that she's got a base of operations that looks very much like the Capitol. It's not, because that is not what the throne room of Sindari looked like. It didn't have that long hallway, but if you look at the banners, as Din is walking down that hallway, they're all owls on the banners. So that's obviously the hideout of the owls, the night owls. So he knows where to find her. He goes back to get everybody, because he's gathering his troops. And whether it just seems like, would he go to another covert and say, I'm going back to Mandalore to do my penance? They don't know about his penance. So that conversation is 100% with the armorer. So he's inviting her back. He's saying, look, I'm going back. I want you to come with me, and let's unite on Mandalore. Forget hiding out. We're done hiding. They know we're out. They know we're here. It's time to fight back. So, especially after Din takes Moff Gideon. Well, who beat Moff Gideon? Oh, some Mandalorian. What? Wait, what? Well, actually, a group of them. There were like 5 of them.
So this is first Death Star, right? Bad Batch. And then Mandalorian is well after. So Bad Batch still has another Death Star coming?
Bad Batch has the first Death Star coming. It's not even
Bad Batch is still, I was
Right.
going to say, it's still like 18 years pre-Death Star. So...
so we're way back.
They're like building it right now. Oh, yes.
Oh, man, it's so good. Go over to Matt Cave and get one of these mugs. I'm telling you, it tastes like better than soda. Hold on, I got to bring in the guys.
We'll come back from galaxy far, far away.
They're being weird.
Disappeared.
But yeah, I mean,
yes. So we are like, we're in the Wayback Machine when we're watching the Bad Batch.
Yes.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, it's just after Clone Wars, really.
So then Mando is multiple years after Battle of Endor.
Yes,
it's 5 to 6.
Then my theory I'm going to be excited about means nothing now. So just to clarify.
Copy that. Yeah, look, it's the time. The times are always fuzzy with Star Wars. Prequels came after after the originals, and the sequels came after the prequels, and now we're coloring in the lines of everything else that's going on. It is definitely a
Jimble.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
There's one thing that they're not touching on, and it's the Imperial Remnant. Like, we don't have any. We're not in that era. We're too far before it, and we're too far after it.
We could see some of the building grounds of it, I think.
In Bad Batch?
Yeah, it's possible to see some of the other figures that would eventually become the Remnant, but I don't think that's going to be really a prevalent thing. Like, maybe we could see Moff Gideon at some point. I think that would be really cool if they ended up doing something like that. Like, what if Rampart is just like a pawn like we all kind of think he is. Even he's like, knows that sooner or later Tarkin is going to get upset with him, and he's probably going to get dealt with, just like he deals with the clones when they don't, fall in line. So
Right.
I think at some point he could get kind of removed from the picture. And how cool would it be if Moff Gideon kind of steps in to take his place?
Well, look, I mean, it's obviously Moff Gideon puts himself in a really good spot at some point, and we could see an early potentially. I just feel like if that's going to happen, then we have to be present for the Darksaber, right? We have to see her lose it if that's going to happen, and I don't know when that happens and when it doesn't. That's a big point of contention. Are we going to get a flashback of how she loses it? I mean, there's a lot of questions on the table.
Yeah,
and there's
part of the timeline that I'm curious about. I think they're saving for the young Luke Skywalker stuff, but it's Battle of Jakku. I don't know how long these trones will. I don't know how long these
trones last.
I don't know how long the clones will be around for, but I think we're pretty far out. They'll all be pretty old at that point with the accelerated aging and whatnot.
Well, but look, I mean, we saw them in Kenobi, right? During Kenobi, we saw. During Kenobi, we saw, an old clone, and he was still rocking. He was old, and he was, long haired and looking like a hippie. But we saw a clone from that era. So really, the time aging of the clones means nothing, really.
I think when we get Battle of Jakku, that'll be our real introduction to young Luke Skywalker, because he was there.
Well, not only that,
it's gonna be crazy, bro. That was just over a year after Endor. He's like, nah, son, and it's all of the Imperial remnant. One ship gets away and goes to the unknown area.
Well, but that's it. We could see something of that in Bad Batch if it's about a year after, right?
Yeah. If this goes multiple seasons, that's what I'm saying.
It seems like this is a really good opportunity for them to tie up some loose ends, so to speak, right? Show us.
I hope they bring in, though, not just loose ends. I hope Tantus is brought fully, go deep into Tantus. Give us all the secrets that are in there now.
I think they're going to. I think that's a lot of what's going on right now. Look, everybody gets so upset. Well, you took away the EU and you took away Legends, and the Ahsoka book doesn't mean shit, and the Plagueis novel might not mean shit, right? Like all of this stuff that they have and that's been embedded in the hearts of the community. I get it. I'm with you. I'm on your team. But at the same time, they're taking bits and pieces of it and putting it into Dave's story, and the person that appreciates those stories is handpicking this stuff to take into the next cycle of Star Wars, right? Tantus is very much an EU thing, right? Comes from the books.
And not only that, but if it is canon, you're retconning everything you touch from there on out. So the smartest thing they ever did was make it its own thing.
I've been saying that for a while. Like, look, everybody
because you can, and it's okay to consider that shit legends and untouchable.
Well,
you can be that kind of.
I think the only mistake they made was trying to say that everything they made going forward was going to be canon. Because it's cool to not have some canon stuff. You know what I mean? Like, look at Visions.
They've doubled back on.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, I think they've kind of backpedaled on that a little bit. So,
well, and at the same time,
maybe all that shit's canon, bro.
I mean, at the same time, you have to allow Dave the storyteller to tell the story, right? Yeah. All of these people wrote these stories, and all of this stuff was approved through Lucasfilm before the takeover, before Dave was in charge, and now it's Dave's time to tell the story and decide what's canonic and what's not. And right now, he's filling these stories out. People think it's all filler, people think it's all bullshit, but really these stories are fantastic. And I stand by what I've said before. Dave's batting average is better than John's batting average, especially in Star Wars.
Does Dave miss? I'm sure he has at some point, but come on.
Remnants or resistance.
Well, he didn't even really. If you're gonna say Dave missed, you could say like the Martez sisters. But even then,
fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. No,
screw this man.
No, man. Martez
like them
exposed the
too, though.
Jedi for the scum they are.
I'm
They
telling
can
you
stay.
right now, they
can
play
stay.
the biggest pivotal role in the rebellion. I say what you want about those sisters. Who do you think got Rex out of Dodge? Who do you think helped start the rebellion? You guys can hate on those sisters all you want, Darth Chaos. You go ahead. You hate on them. You go ahead. If I had all my memes in here and I had all my stuff in here, you know what? No, you know what?
Look, I like the Martez sisters. Don't get me wrong. I don't even think those are bad episodes, and I totally understand the purpose of them. I actually love the fact that I like them better in the Bad Batch than I did when they showed up in Clone Wars, in my opinion. But I think they're solid characters that serve a purpose. But I just use that as an example because I know certain fans don't like the Martez sisters, and I can kind of understand why you maybe wouldn't as well.
Well, I mean, look,
yeah.
Go
they
ahead,
just like because they focus so much on them for a few of the episodes and then they're gone in an instance. I feel like that also doesn't give much precedence to them having any meaning in the story. So the people who are writing them off are pretty justified when we never hear from them ever again.
And the fact that it was from season 7.
That's the hook.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to, right? The Martez sisters come in, they meet Ahsoka, they show Ahsoka that the Jedi are not as beloved as everybody thinks. And they show her the different side of not living on the upper echelons of Coruscant, right? Like, and living the good life.
And Ahsoka's like, yep, see, I knew this. I told myself this many years ago. Yep,
right.
Thank you.
And then she meets these sisters, but then Order 66 happens, and everybody she knows turns on her. So every friend and ally she's ever known, Padme's dead, Anakin is written off, Kenobi's gone, Yoda's gone. She can't feel anybody, and she feels like she's on her own. Who's the only? It's her and Rex flying in a Y-wing, right? And a 100% identifiable craft to a clone that's on the run with a Jedi potentially, right? So then, what happens? Who do you call? Who do you call?
The one person who gave her a number.
Who? Oh, Bail.
Bail Organa.
Can't call Bail. Bail's under more watch than anybody else. Can't call Bail for a couple years, for at least a year, right?
I mean, I don't know when the Tales of the Jedi final episode is supposed to take place exactly in canon. I don't know if it's the same as the book, which I assume it would be. But that in that story, it shows right after Order 66 that she went to Padme's funeral and Bail's like, yo, here's this number. Call me if you need anything.
Right. And she's like,
she ends up calling him to help other people, but when she does that, helping other people brings her back into the fight.
Right. She comes back into the fold 100%, but at the time she tries to go away. She tries to go away. The enemy keeps following her and finding her because of other people's stupidity, right? So she keeps trying to run away. They didn't show as much of her like going to this planet and going to this planet like the book did, but you only get what you get in 15 minutes. So really, you see her try to run away and she's like, I'm done. Let's say it's 6 months, a harvest. It looked like she'd been there for a couple cycles, but let's call it a harvest. At that point, she gives Rex to the sisters because she can't call Bail. She feels like it's too risky, right? So she calls the only two people in the whole galaxy that know nothing of what she just went through. Nobody's hunting these two. And then she gives Rex to them, and Rex starts the rebellion. They start going after tactical droid heads to gather intel. They start working with the Bad Batch to accomplish little missions here and there. You know, I just feel like there's a lot going on there. And the sisters are the pivotal point in that. That's why Dave brought them into the part of season 7 to begin with, because he knew he was going to build off of those two.
It really was great building when you watch, like, watching the Clone Wars back in chronological order recently and everything. Like, after getting the episodes where Ahsoka gets kicked out or like leaves the order, really not even, I mean, she does get kicked out, but like through that whole process and then seeing her after that and the Martez sister arc, it really opens your eyes to, yeah, she straight up left the order and had to figure everything out. And she did, they really kind of helped her figure it out.
Well, like a
and who
muggle.
she is.
I mean, she had to get down there and she had to do work, right? Like she had to fix bikes to get along for a while. She had to, she had to do all these odd jobs until she met them, and then she meets them and she's like, oh, okay, y'all are trying to pull big jobs. They get in trouble. She reveals she's a Jedi. They're like, the Jedi suck. They're responsible for my mom's death or our parents' death. Like there's this whole other side that the rest of the galaxy doesn't see. And all of a sudden they're buddies, and she goes back to help because she finds out Maul is running rampant through the drug syndicate system. And she's like, I gotta handle this. Right. So she can't help it. But the sisters are pivotal. The sisters are pivotal to the birth of the rebellion, because it's really Rex. You come to find out, yeah, Rex somehow ended up on some backwater planet where they're hunting Jupas. And that's the exciting part of their day, is hunting Jupas. And see, I mean, all of the above. But I mean, it's good setup, because something happens to Rex and he's like, oh, I'm out. But the sisters keep fighting with Ahsoka, and maybe that, and I think they're going to be a big part of maybe the show. They might be piloting her fancy Jedi craft.
That's possible.
Right? Like we see her get out of her ship to go pick up Sabine, but she could be flying it, but it seems like she would have a crew.
It's got to be everybody, right? It has to be everybody, right?
I don't think so. I think Hera,
you don't think that Zeb would want to go?
I don't think they're all together. I think at the end
it's
of Rebels,
possible. They were all there. Zeb is
they were
on
all
his
there
homeworld and everything, but
no, Zeb took Callus back to Larasat, right?
Larasan or whatever.
But they're all living with the trauma of what happened to Ezra.
Yes, they're all living with the trauma.
Like, that is not for nothing. That is like the death of a best friend. And
I
would be shocked if we don't hear from at least each of them in some way, for fans to know, like, okay, this is their place in the galaxy right now.
We've already got a live action Harrison Dula cast, right? We've already got a Sabine Wren cast. We've got a young and old Ahsoka. We've got all these people.
Zeb, bro.
if they give us a Zeb, cool. But Zeb was easily written off of this show because he's with, they're on a homeworld doing other stuff.
He's done his job. Yeah.
He's on his homeworld rebuilding, let's say.
I just don't see any of them being like, wait, you right now, Ezra?
No,
don't
I
even
agree.
pack a bag. Just get in the ship.
I think the first episode would be more like getting Hera and Zeb, in live action Chopper, which is what I'm most excited about. I'm most excited about live action Chopper.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? I can't wait to see his arms and his head spin and Dave Filoni's voice in there, because Dave's going to do it again, right? Yes. So I'm looking forward to, because Chopper's the only droid that I watch the show and I'm like, I know everything he's saying.
Yes.
I know every word you're saying, right? I know exactly what you're saying. Oh, revert all the power from the shields. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Do it. Okay. Right? And then he does, right?
If you're a fan of South Park, or you ever like watch it, Kenny, kind of like yeah, you can know exactly what Kenny's saying in the same respect. I think it was genius hilarious. The way he voiced it. Like, you can hear the words.
It's hilarious too. The later the seasons go, it's so meta. Some of the moments where I almost see it as Dave Filoni is Chopper, and he's talking to the actors, and he's like, they're like, "Are you serious, Chopper?" And he's like, yeah, do this. And then they're just like, okay, then I'm gonna trust you.
What if it's him just talking his normal voice and that rest of that's just effects?
Right. No, it totally is. It's totally like
it's like when the guitar players, they play with the little like hose thing, you know what I'm saying, where they can make the guitar talk.
Listen to this.
You have to change the voice. You have to get in to the modifications of the tactical droid. So what are you doing?
That is tactical droid. Remember that one.
Yep.
This is my tactical droid.
So look, but really, I mean, the first episode is obviously Ahsoka and Sabine in that area where she builds it, where she has that mural. Boom, they're hooked up. The sisters are already in there. They go find the ghost, Hera, maybe little Syndulla, and then Chopper, and maybe Zeb. Maybe she put, they put the back signal out. I'm all about it. But ultimately, the sisters are going to be in this show. I want to see the sisters piloting the Jedi cruiser. That's what I want.
Obsession wants Letitia Wright cast in a live action.
I want here. You know what? I'm gonna go political just to screw with people. I want AOC to play Trace,
Yeah.
the angry one. I want AOC to play Trace, the older sister.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Right? That's what I want. I want an angry Latina to play the older sister. That's why, because she's angry, girl.
Well, we know a couple of those.
Boy, do we ever!
But
Roger.
Someone wanted you to do the Roger with that voice.
Am I doing the
Roger.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I feel like they're definitely going to be there, right? So I think it'll be fun to have them involved because they are kind of their own character between an older and younger sister, right? It plays off of Anakin and Ahsoka. They just didn't like them because they were so brief and people didn't feel like they had a purpose. And I feel like this was the purpose the whole time, was to use them in live action, to build the bridge, to give Rex a place to go and give him a purpose.
I never thought of the live action, but that would be pretty wild to see them in the Ahsoka show.
Just like a Greaves in Fallen Order, right? Just as the pilot in the ship, not even on the missions, just piloting the ship, handling the ship.
That guy was a highlight that a lot of people overlook if they didn't play the game.
Yeah, man.
The homie in the
Good
ship
character.
is amazing. Yeah, every line.
But look, it's this show is very much on the horizon. We don't know an exact date. My guess is Celebration is going to be the release, unless they do it at Super Bowl, which I've heard nothing about this at Super Bowl. Potentially a late Mando trailer, maybe. But I haven't seen an Ahsoka trailer, even a hint of that. So for me, that says Celebration. That says Celebration.
I don't think we get the Ahsoka trailer till after Mando, so probably Celebration time frame.
Well,
Celebration makes sense
right
because it's during. But I still think there's room for Ahsoka to show up again in Mando season 3. So I think that we're gonna see her, and it'll maybe set up her story for her show. Not that we don't already have some setup, but I do think it's possible that the two, cross over a little bit more.
Right. All right, guys, look, we're going to do something. This is new. I want you guys to, if you're interested in this, I don't know how many people are here because I can't see it. I think there's like 10 of you guys hanging out.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of bigger stream here. I'm going to do my voice.
Bigger streamers.
Out there doing their thing, but we're going to try something new because we're trying all this new technology and we're trying these new things. I want you guys to be involved. So thank you for the drinks. So right here, there is a QR code I'm putting on the screen. Okay. So we're dropping a QR code. Hopefully it's going to work. We'll see what's going on. It's thinking about it, guys. Hold on. So basically we're going to throw a QR code on the screen. Hopefully, if it'll do it. You guys going to do it live or no? Because you did it earlier.
Yeah, I saw it pop up earlier.
I saw it.
Practice.
Everything in practice works great. All right, we're going to give it a couple minutes to try it out. But basically, we're going to give you guys a chance to send in a video comment. Okay, so the QR code isn't working. I copied the link. If you're a member in the Discord, go ahead and hop in the Discord. And in the general chat, there is going to be, in fact, I'm going to create a new one real quick just for you guys. We're going to do a text channel. And this is going to be voice comment. All right. All right. So there's a tab in the Discord with a voice comment, and there is a link in that chat for you to send in a voice comment, a video comment. So basically, all you have to do is click on that link. It's going to record a comment, and we're going to put you on the stream, and we're going to show your video comment to us. So make it whatever you want, but we are talking about Mandalorians today. Tell us your thoughts on where you see us going. Let's start there. So, yeah, let's try it out. You guys go ahead. Since obviously one of the features I was most excited about isn't functioning properly, but that's okay. It's a beta test. This is what beta tests are for. But yes, there is a link in the Discord, and it will show up for us in the chat, and I'm really excited. So I'm going to also send this to another one of our buddies, and hopefully he is going to...
Do you have the link for the Discord?
Yeah,
just
the
for
link...
anybody in the chat that maybe doesn't have it.
I will. That is a great idea. Let's copy. Let's see.
And paste.
Invite people. Yep. We're going to copy that link. All right. So in the chat, if you want to get in the Discord, there is the link for the Discord. Go ahead and become a member of our server. Go down to the voice comments section, and there is a link just for you guys. This is something new. This is why I'm trying this. We could be doing this on StreamYard like always, but this segment, this whole thing is 100 sponsored by Live with Opus. So Opus is a new platform that we have, that we're using, that gives us all of our fun new features, and they are in beta test. This is something brand new. So this stream is actually brought to you by them. We've paid nothing for it. They've been gracious enough to give us a beta to try this out. And so far, I've really enjoyed everything. In fact, I need to share this with them so they can check out the last bit of the show. But yeah, is everybody seen the...
I see it.
The video?
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. That's one of the features I was really interested. I was hoping the QR was going to pop up, but again, we're beta testing, and this is new stuff we're doing, so I'm having a good time with it. But yeah, guys, drop emojis in the chat. This is something I really enjoy. I'm gonna reset them. So go ahead and drop some emojis in the chat. The emojis, a lot of them work. They're working on getting them all in there. I try to use generic ones whenever I'm posting, but get in there, throw some emojis out there. If you want to get on this video, comment. I'm really excited to try it out. So I open it up for anybody. And the Discord link is there. So yeah, try it out, get something recorded, send it back to us. We'll put you up on the stream. You can tell us your input on our subject today. So yeah, what else? We got Mandalorians. I'm excited. I think we could potentially see these two potato heads rocking together again.
Heck yeah.
I do think that, we're definitely going to see more of Lady Bo-Katan, right? And then we're going to get back to Din Djarin kicking names and taking ass,
Hell yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Come March. I mean, look, guys, we are 23 days away.
It's around the corner.
That's
insane.
Streamers, build your thumbnails. Everybody get your TVs and setups ready, and get ready for viewing parties. This is one that I might actually do a viewing party for. I know everybody else and their mama does them.
Hey man, you should.
I think we might.
I'm down to collaborate one day if I end early or whatever, man. Like we can hop on together or do whatever. I'm down with it.
Hey, there's some beers. Thank you, Rebecca. Oh, that's so. Yeah, guys, this is definitely a platform I want to use more. The interaction here is just a lot more fun, and that's what I'm looking for on these streams. These streams are all about positivity. I try not to let any shade or hate really come in. We like opposing views. I like discussions and open debate, but ultimately, we try to keep things on the up and up. We try to keep things happy. So yeah, ultimately, we're here for you guys as the viewer. I'm not here for me. I mean, yeah, I am guilty pleasure. I am here for me because I got to get this shit out of me because the real world gets tired of hearing about Star Wars. So for me, this is really a place to let it all out. But this is also for you, right? We're literally, I can see the finish line for our 1,000 subscribers, right? We are like this close. We're like 28 subs away from hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark, and you guys know what's happening. I'm not even going to mention it today. You guys know what's happening. There's stuff here for you guys. I've got more stuff than just little things for you guys. We've got new merch coming. In case you didn't know, the bus driving bitch is happening. I've got the artist working on our Mace Windu, Jedi Mace Windu. That bus driving bitch is 100% coming. We have an artist working on details. We have the new intro that you guys saw at the beginning. We're putting in work this year. We're definitely trying to make the stream more for you guys, right? This is a place where when we do giveaways, it's for the community. I try to make it so that the inclusivity of you guys make this thing. I don't just need numbers. I'm not here for numbers. I'm here for the community portion of it. So now that Hawks is back, how do you guys feel about the rest of the summer? Right? We're getting 8 episodes. So that leads us into what? June. Last episode is what? June 1, somewhere in there. Does that give you enough to get you through the summer?
I think obviously around June is probably where it's gonna end, to your point,
right?
But I think having Celebration be kind of towards the end of that should give us enough hype to kind of push us through whatever gap there might be in the summer. Because I think we're probably getting a bunch of trailers, whether it's Ahsoka, a new project is coming. I mean, a lot of stuff I think is going to be announced at Celebration that'll get us kind of over that hump of whatever kind of period there isn't as much. I do think, though, that there is potentially going to be a lot in the back half of the year. Whenever Ahsoka does drop, I don't think it'll be a super big gap between Mando and Ahsoka, but I'm down for the wait, however long the wait is. But I think the summer is still going to have some exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the summer is bringing, I mean, let's see what the
Survivor as well.
I mean, look, dude, there's a lot of announcements on let's just type in Star Wars just in the Twitterverse just to see what's cracking. I mean, just number one, you've got Bad Batch is there, Mando's there. What do we get? Tales of the Jedi, or not Tales? We got Visions 2.
Mm-hmm.
We got. Didn't they put out a big? There it is. This is what I was looking for. Visions. This is the Vision slate, right? So I figured Mandalorian's going to be going on. Visions is also something that's coming, and these are the studios that are producing the second season of Visions. Now, I unfortunately do not have a insane knowledge of studios when it comes to anime, but we had a really good time last time, right? I mean, there were some good, there were some bad, just like everything, but I really enjoyed some of the stories. Specifically ones that people didn't like Toby. Toby was one of my favorite stories. It was very Mega Man. But this is what's on the slate for Visions. Those are the producing studios.
Dude, so I got into looking up some of those studio names.
Yes, let's
Aardman.
Okay.
Aardman does a lot of stop motion,
okay,
including like Wallace and Gromit. And the person behind the project has been involved in a lot of that. So I think we're going to get some Star Wars stop motion.
That's dope.
Out of that,
I like that.
That's sick.
El Geary Studios also, I think it's either them or Cartoon Saloon. One of the two do a show my kids watch called We Bear Bears.
Oh.
And it's like it's based out of Spain, I think.
Okay.
But that's kind of popular amongst kids. I did, because I was curious, I tweeted out all of the titles So we might be able to have some fun speculating on the titles. So El Giri, and I'm probably butchering that one. The title of their episode is Sith. Cartoon Saloon is Shrieker's Reach. Punk Robot is In the Stars. Ardman is I Am Your Mother. Studio Mur is Journey to the Dark Head.
I Am Your Mother is going to piss people off.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that
I Am Your Mother.
That one is going to piss people off. I can tell you that shit right now. No doubt.
Man.
That is going to be a total play on I Am Your Father, and they are going to lose their minds.
That's going to be great.
The anti-woke movement is going to lose their goddamn minds. I love it.
Studio La Cachette, which is France, obviously, is The Spy Dancer. I'm kind of excited for that. It could be like a espionage, like either a rebel undercover kind of thing.
Okay, I can dig that.
88 Pictures is The Bandits of Golak, Golak.
Okay.
This other Diart I'm gonna butcher this. Shatagio and Lucasfilm Ltd are in co-production, I guess, with this one called The Pit.
Okay.
And then Triggerfish, their title is Aau's Song, AAU' Song.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That's really all the details you got.
Right, so,
there's an article that does go into details about like who they made.
I gotta get it out of here, boys. But I think we're streaming tomorrow, no?
Yeah, we're gonna stream tomorrow at around 5-ish.
All right, sounds good. So I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Hope everybody has a great night, and I'm gonna get out of here.
Later, dude. I'll see you soon.
No worries, man.
Peace out.
And since Sheev is taken off, we're going to go ahead and play out some new. Here's the new for you guys. We're gonna turn down the music. Here's the new. I
don't know what's going on with this, but Thrawn and Mandalorian season 3. Do you guys think that Thrawn is going to be kind of a villain, whether we see him in Mando 3 or in Ahsoka, or is he going to be just kind of an anti-hero? What's your thoughts?
Okay,
that was his comment reply.
That was his video reply. So that's what they look like, right? Now this is obviously, like I said, this is new stuff that we're trying to integrate into the stream. This is
you can film that right on your phone too when you click the link.
And that's the thing. It's right there on your phone. Do it.
Yep.
Landscape, regular, however you want to do it, and send in your comment.
Failed.
Right. That's the beauty of this new software we're trying out. Right. It's very much for you guys. It's very much to get you guys involved in the stream more. If you guys want to send your comments, if you guys want to video chat with us, or get your video comments in here. As you know, if you want to get in the stream, most nights after the first hour, we go ahead and invite everybody in. Tonight with the beta, we're going to take it easy. We're not going to go crazy. Tomorrow night, when we do the Bad Batch pre-show, we will be inviting everybody in, and like always, and getting everybody to come and hang out with us and go ahead and join us on the stream. We can do up to 9 here. So if anybody wants to come in tomorrow, schedule it. We're going to go on around 5. We're going to do our normal pre-Bad Batch. What do I think? What are we doing? And then we're going to invite you guys in to talk about it and keep us on our toes. So that's the plan. Anything else you want to chat about, my brother?
Not really. I mean, we got Bad Batch, and then right after that is Mando. Is that what's like next on our plate? I'm really hyped for Mando.
I'm really excited for Mando. I'm very excited for.
I'm excited to see how far they push this timeline needle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
how far into the real history are we going to get? Impactful changes.
I mean, from Mando, I don't think there's going to be as many impactful changes as we usually think. I think this is going to be a lot of Mandalorian lore. So,
yeah,
because we get, because
so do we establish a brand new Mandalore on Mandalore, or do you think
I
they
think
have to
that's what's coming.
relocate?
No, I think that's
Yeah.
what's coming, to be honest. Between
Mhm.
you and me, I really think, and let's not tell anybody else on the internet, but I really think that that's the point of this story ultimately, right? Everybody's like, oh, Grogu's going to be the new Mandalore because he's a Jedi and a Mandalorian, and maybe that could be. But ultimately,
Mhm.
I could see this crowning a new Mandalore, right?
Mhm.
And you and I have talked about it in at nauseum about potentially in the mines of Mandalore finding that old Beskar to make new armor, right?
Dude,
To
I would
find
love that. I
the
think they're
dark
gonna take it
saber,
straight from Lord of the Rings show and how
the
they
dark
found a new
saber.
vein
Yeah,
of Beskar way down there.
But look, I mean,
Woo!
even Din Djarin says it when he's talking about this. He says, "Look, this is made of Beskar, a type of Beskar I've never seen before." Right?
Mhm.
So it would, you know,
Yep.
you would like to see them find that old Beskar and make new armor, right?
Mhm.
For the Mandalorians, right? Refine it,
Mhm.
maybe integrate it in with their armor now to make new. But definitely, I go back to this: the dark saber in the waters, the living waters of Mandalore. That's where it's at for me, right?
Yep.
Putting that saber in the water, I could see it being an accident, right? I could
Mhm.
see like a fight breaking out, and the saber comes out, but it's so heavy it like leans toward the water and it
Mhm.
scrapes the water, and all of a sudden the rumble comes out, right? Like I could totally see it being an accident. They're not
Well,
looking for a
again, like
mythosaur. They're not
he
looking
has to he has to baptize himself basically. So what if it's just on his hilt, and when the kyber or whatever the kyber is, doesn't even have to be ignited. It just has to,
sense the harmonics,
vibrate
the harmonics.
into the
Yeah,
water.
that's what I'm saying. So it just
Because
seems like
all, I mean, I'm the crystal guy. Like
yeah,
all crystals have a natural frequency. So they have a vibrational energy that's built
yes.
into the crystals naturally. Kybers have a sentience. So that just like inflates it even more. So
Well, and that's
yeah,
just it.
I can totally see it.
And
If that
waking.
crystal is naturally from Mandalore, that would be cool.
Well, yeah, I mean that, or the fact that the last time the mythosaur that is hibernating there hears that harmonics, like that could be the key that wakes up the
Mhm.
mythosaur, right? Because I have no
Yep.
doubt at some point we are going to get the last mythosaur from the mines. So I'm really excited. This
Crystal calls, man.
That's it. Like the crystal calls out to it. There's not any, any rhyme or reason as to why, but the
Got
crystals
my
make.
dark crystal right here.
That's it, dude. Like I just got it. It would be so cool
Hell
if
yeah.
they go this arc. There's the
Because
look, him gathering all these Mandalorians and going back to Mandalore, like it's just huge, dude. It's just huge.
and not for nothing, like they have already given us hints at the that damn pearl too. What was the pearl?
Well, the pearl was from KOTOR,
Powers,
and
right? Like
that
getting
was from the crate dragon. Crate
like
dragon.
all these different things that have certain types of powers and energies and vibrations and
Well, that's just it. Like this stuff is going very much to old school KOTOR, right? This takes me
Mhm.
back to that old school KOTOR feeling, right?
Yeah.
And so that's, everybody's like, well, this is what Star Wars should be. Great. They're making great Star Wars with this show, but I'm looking forward to hitting some of those comic runs. I would like to see Boba Fett's lineage start to
Mm.
I would like to see Boba Fett's lineage start to come out, and I could see Dave doing that because he showed the chain codes on Boba Fett's armor, showing Jasper, showing Django, right?
That
So
was crazy.
these hints at his past kind of make me feel that he and at the end of this season of Boba Fett, which a lot of people didn't like, he even mentions, he's looking for a family. That whole series is about Boba trying to find his place in the universe, right?
Yep.
His dad said it. I'm just a man looking for finding my way through the galaxy. Boba's the same way. But finally, when he admits his Mandalorian heritage, he all of a sudden finds his home, right? So for me, I just feel like the Boba Fett series will make more sense once Boba comes into the fold with the rest of the Mandalorians, especially if Din is in charge. Like, who are they going to question? Like, he's one of us. Death and honor, right? Like,
yo, so the Sabersmiths asked, what do you think of the mines will look like? Burnt, caved in, untouched? I would love, and this is like, I'm going to just steal everything from Lord of the Rings, okay?
Do
for
it,
this
bro,
cave,
do it.
okay? So, in order to, so he'll go there, he picks up the helmet, right? And that's probably on the surface of Mandalore, maybe near the mines,
I
but
think on the
the
surface.
mine, I think the mine location will be hidden, but potentially the light from the Darksaber could show some kind of symbols, some kind of pathway, some kind of door.
And we do
But
know
it'll
the
be something only
Mandalorians.
accessible by like the Mandalore or the,
Well, I
worthy.
think. Well, I mean, I think the mines will be accessible, but I think the chamber, right? I'm going to steal this from
Wherever
Harry
he
Potter.
gets to, the deeper.
I'm going to steal this from like the Harry Potter, like the Chamber of Secrets, right? Like there's going to be a place for the saber to rest, to unlock the hidden mine or something. And that's where the good Beskar is, right? The same kind of Beskar he made his saber out of, right? Like that. To me, that a series of puzzles, cool, but I just feel like the Darksaber has so much meaning, right? That they pushed on it. So at this point, it's like we have to play that card more. Why not use it as the key, right? Almost like we saw Omega use that compass cool. As that obelisk as the key. It's very Jedi, right? It's very Zepho was the word I was looking for. So I could see that absolutely happening. And it would be a lot of fun, man. I mean, really, chat. So we're going to put another poll out because I like using these features. So I'm going to put another poll out. And this one's going to be, look, let's try to keep this one simple. Let's just type the word that you think is going to be what we're going to do. So, let's just do yes or no.
You have to word the question properly.
Okay, let's see. Does Din find a secret?
Dude, they literally called it the heart of the mountain. I've heard that before.
Okay, let's try this again. It's yes or no. Oh shit, Steve got in there with a comment. All right, here it is, guys. Here's another opportunity. Yes or no?
Find a secret chamber.
Does Din Djarin find a secret chamber on Mandalore? I'm going to change this setup so that we can see better the question. Okay, that's a better question. There we go.
Now chat has to play along.
Chat has to play along. I'm saying yes also. But that is my hypothesis, is that there could potentially be a secret chamber. There could potentially, of course. And while we're doing this poll, let's go ahead and hear from Steve.
I am him, that boy Steve, saying Star Wars Obsession rocks, that bro Hawks rocks, and if you have a problem with that, screw you.
Okay.
That was awesome.
We're gonna clip that. But yeah, look, these are the fun features we're trying to use. I love it. Thank you for doing that. That's exactly what we want to see. The poll is still up.
Good to meet you too, man.
Is the poll gone now? No, don't take the poll away. No.
It did, but it was a overwhelmingly unanimous yes.
Yeah, it seems that way too. So I'm really excited for this season of Mandalorian. I think the more we dive into Mandalore, the more we dive into Mandalore lore,
That
the
clip right there
happier
in
I
that
am.
GIF. Mm.
Right? I enjoy this Star Wars. A lot of people didn't know about Mandalorians. Boba Fett was
Mhm.
that was it. There's this guy in armor, right? But then you watch the Clone Wars, they give you a little taste. You watch Bad Batch, they give you Rebels, they give you even more. And now they give us a whole show
Mhm.
on it. And it's just awesome. I love it. I love the lore.
And you know, everyone, like, even myself included, we were like, "Ah, man, I don't know, that whole train episode, not the train heist, but the original, like,
Yeah.
the crawler, where
Yeah.
he's like climbing up the side of the crawler, fighting the Jawas, and we all look back at that shit now and we laugh. When originally, like, the first season, everyone was like, "Man, that episode kind of sucked."
Yeah, no, I mean,
But
look,
now you're like,
you're talking about the
so
egg episode, the Zuba. What was it?
I think it was the one right before that where they like take his ship and take all his shit. Was it all in the same episode?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because either that or immediately after.
A lot of people had some mixed feelings about him fighting the Jawas. I just remember that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've enjoyed pretty much all of it. For me, I really haven't had any problems with the show at all. I've enjoyed the mass of it as it comes, and I love that they're bringing Bo-Katan. I love that they're taking that old Mandalorian lore and really bringing it to the forefront, right? And showing these characters. I mean, and the casting is amazing. You know, bringing Katie,
Dude, and when like
live,
she hasn't even really, we haven't seen her on screen with the armor, with Paz
no,
Vizsla.
and
Like,
that
she's
shit's
going to
coming.
know these people.
That shit
As
is
soon as she
coming.
sees them, she's gonna be like,
My
"You."
question is, do blasters come out? Like, is this the
On site?
Bo-Katan
Yeah.
from Rebels and is this still that fiery Bo-Katan that we get, right? Because
I don't know, man.
the fiery Bo-Katan pulls her blaster on them immediately. Like, no doubt.
Mhm.
Bo-Katan blasters out, Mandalorians in front of her, and they're like, "What's up?" Right? And I
Mhm.
think Din's got to pull out the saber, right? Pull out the dark saber and be like, everybody needs to chill the F out.
Mhm.
Like, we're here to work together. So there's a larger
Yep.
enemy at large. And I really think Moff Gideon's going to escape. I think that's going to be a large part of the show is maybe
I think that will be a cause of I mean, that'll be a natural causation of the infighting. And then Din's gonna have to be like, listen, man, do you want this planet to get turned to glass again? Because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Do you want them to
You guys are repeating the same stupid shit you were doing.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
He has to change their minds.
Well, and that's just it. Din is not the normal Mandalorian, right? Yes, he was raised by Death Watch, but Grogu kind of changed him. Grogu kind of messed him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So to watch this story, grow for me is fantastic because Grogu changed one Mandalorian that now could change all Mandalorians. Like, that's rad because his way of thinking kind of works best. I mean, Bo-Katan's didn't work. Boba's not the leader that they want, but could end up leading in some facet. But Din's that reluctant leader. He's that, if you go back to the Lord of the Rings, isn't that Aragorn?
Yeah, and he's also, exactly. That is the story. He's going to
reluctant
prove
king.
to the people, he's going to prove to the people of Mandalore that, like, your birthright, your name, those things, they're not the end all be all. Like, he's dedicating the time. He is dedicating his life to Mandalore, and that's all that's going to matter in the end. Like, I think.
I think it's look, I mean, regardless,
Going back to baptize himself, like, if that doesn't show the dedication.
I mean, look, it's definitely, well, here's something that just popped in my head that really has me kind of intrigued is, what if Grogu helps Din get into the secret chamber? Because Grogu's got the Force, so he can move whatever.
Yeah.
Din's got the saber. And so, like, those two teaming up and going into the mines totally feels like Grogu could help him out when he needs to move something. Like, hey, I can't get in here. And Grogu's like,
now listen, man. Now listen, Obsession. Wasn't Vizsla a Jedi Mandalorian?
Yes, Tar was.
Okay, so listen.
That's what I'm saying, dog. He needs Grogu's help
You
get
remember that
into
episode?
to get into the Chamber of Secrets. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Listen, there was an
Listen,
episode
Linda.
in Rebels. There was
Listen,
an
Linda.
episode in Rebels, okay? This dark side guy needed this light side guy to help him get into a temple because he could only lift one stone and the other, you know. So this 100% could be only accessible by a
Listen, Linda.
Jedi Mandalorian, which they'll never see coming. That would be dope. That'd be hella dope. If the only way to access Vizsla's secret chambers is if you're a Jedi. Makes perfect sense.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So
I love it.
automatically, you've
Yup.
got Grogu helps Din find the secret chamber.
Yeah.
And
Take my
then,
money.
boom, he's got the dark saber.
Mhm.
So he's in charge of the mythosaur.
Mhm.
They're building Grogu's armor out of the new Beskar. I mean, come on, bro. Oh,
What up, guys? So with Pedro killing it in The Last of Us, do you think it's possible in the future of The Mandalorian we could see more and more of Din Djarin without his helmet? Especially with all the stuff going on Mandalore and kind of learning about more of Mandalore's past, potentially. Do you think that's possible? Do you think we're going to get more of Pedro going forward in The Mandalorian?
well, I think it's going to be more helmet on for a while, especially going back to the Living Waters, feeling that shame that the armor makes him feel. It kind of feels that way for me. Look, I feel like with Pedro killing it in Last of Us, he's going to be a busy man, right? Because they're going to do more seasons of that show also. So I think he's getting the screen time he wants. I think maybe the face showing argument doesn't really hold the water it used to now that he's got another hit show.
It's going to depend on what Lucasfilm wants to do, really, ultimately, because do you want your Mandalore to remain secretive? Do you want them to remain low in numbers, hidden, or do you want Mandalore at the height of its power? I think if you want it at the height of its power, it needs a leader that demands that somebody know, that people know, that politicians recognize. Like, I just don't know how much Mandalore they want around in the long term.
Well, I mean,
as
and
far
you
as
got
the third faction.
This is going to be the argument, right, that goes on in Sindari, because the only Mandalorians that think that way are the extreme Death Watch, right? Not even like the normal faction. This is the extreme portions of Death Watch after the Empire.
Oh, you're one of them. Yeah.
You're one of them, right? That's something that the Mandalorians probably put together after the clones took over Mandalore, before the Purge or after the Purge.
And he was raised in that as a defense mechanism.
Right.
So like once they have numbers, once they have a united Darksaber leading them, like I'm not seeing no Mandalorians being too keen on hiding, especially Bo-Katan of all people.
Well, Bo-Katan and the rest of the clan members that are still alive and fighting the fight, but the coverts, the ones that are not Mandalore loyalists, which would be the Children of the Watch, there's a lot of them out there that Din has to persuade. And I think we see the Din recruitment episode, was what I'm going to call it, after the Mines of Mandalore. I think we go to Mandalore early because that's his first mission. He has to do it. And I think there he may clean his soul and this and that, but ultimately he's got to go hunting for troops. Why? We don't know. But he goes out hunting for troops, finding different coverts, talking about the Mandalorians being broken. There's a lot out there.
I think it ultimately could come down to the fact that he's a foundling and like the principles behind the foundlings. Like, why are you even bringing in foundlings if it's just to hide our faces, if it's just, for us to do nothing other than be a part of this sect that hides ourselves when there's multiple others of us out there.
Well,
he was kind of raised in it. You know what I mean? It's like when you have a certain belief that's not necessarily tracking with modern society when you grow up, like you definitely change your whole belief systems based on what you learn just from your own environment.
Well, and that's just it. He learned one way, but now he's
As
realizing
a young
that
kid,
as
no
a kid,
family.
but
Mhm.
now that was a defense mechanism to hide. They're not trying to hide anymore, right? And that's the big thing, is that the time for hiding is over. Now
That's what I hope.
Now it's time to show ourselves, choose
Mhm.
our colors, choose our clans. And if you want to
Mhm.
continue to be Death Watch, that's great, but we need to be one. And I think, again, much like Aragon, he's the reluctant king, much like Harry Potter, right? Your main, the person that's born to be king is not always the person that was born in the kingdom.
Mhm.
So like this is what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see, does Bo-Katan stab him in the back? Do they
Yeah.
are we going to see another saber fight in the Mandalorian camp?
I'm interested what's going to happen with some of these planets too. It's like we think about Mustafar too. It's like these planets just going to age, just going to be hollow. Are the Mandalores really going to stay there? Are they going to, find a more flourishing, resourceful homeworld? It's like I'm really curious what Lucasfilm is going to do with some of this stuff.
Well, I mean,
10 years from now, 15 years from now.
I'm really interested to see more Mandalore. More
Same.
of Mandalore.
Something we never saw.
We haven't seen this stuff. This is what makes
Mhm.
this show so exciting, is we're getting stuff that has never been talked about. We've
Mhm.
talked about Jedi. They've talked about all of this stuff since this,
Mhm.
right? But when do we ever talk about Mandalorians, let alone in live action?
Right.
It's great, and it's great lore.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do. The Mandalorian, this show kind of redefined how people view those just, they're not just bucket heads. And I love that they address them as such. Oh, you always hiding in your shiny shells, right? Like, I
Mhm.
love that they talk about the Beskar as what it is. It's OP as F.
Mhm.
Right? I mean,
is.
It's super overpowering. So, it's not just this stuff where you got lightsaber battles, right? It's that Beskar, those Mandalorians in their shells. This stuff is powerful. Take
Yep.
multiple hits with it, right? It's a big, this is a big part of the future of Star Wars. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope that they don't just write them off into the sunset in some glorious, in some glorious battles. But
well, I don't think so, because I mean, you've got obviously you've got this big cinematic, and this is what they're using to prep to get there. That I think could end up being that Battle of Jakku you're talking about, right? That big end game battle has to come. The threat has to come from somewhere. It doesn't necessarily have to take place on Mandalore.
yeah,
It could just be that's the place where they chose to strike. So there's a lot of room still, and I'm really excited that we're here. This is, as much as people want to complain, oh, Wikipedia, and here I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it once because everybody's been asking for it.
Wikipedia. They put pronouns all over. Wikipedia's pronouns is whack.
So yeah, they got people in their pronoun game. There's all kinds of anger in the fandom. Oh, I heard another one today. I heard Luke's fluid, gender fluid. That's the other one here. Let's go back to it.
So Wokipedia put pronouns. So now Star Wars characters have pronouns. And then I heard another thing, that Luke is gay or bisexual. I mean,
he made out with his sister, man.
I thought you would enjoy that one. So yeah, man.
What if he's like Deadpool? He's a pansexual. It doesn't matter.
Whatever, man. I don't care, man. It doesn't affect my day at all. I don't care.
I know, it's like
it's so dumb. Get your clicks in, man. That's all I'm saying.
Slow news day out
Slow
there in the
news
Star
time.
Wars world.
Get your clicks in. Wokepedia is doing their thing. You know, stories are making man baby Ryan Johnson. I thought that was hilarious. People got all pissed off. I thought you weren't about to whatever. Get all mad. Get your clicks in, guys. It's okay. I'm literally like Steve said, I'm literally deceased. I'm on the floor with this. It just cracks me up because it doesn't affect my life. I don't care. It's Wokepedia for fuck's sake. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna call it. We've been at it an hour and a half. I got my guys in here tonight to try out some software. It has been an absolute blast. We've been having fun. I've been having fun. I want to thank Hawks for coming in. Get down there and subscribe to his channel. He's doing some killer gaming shit. Tarkov is like number one thing that you're streaming like crazy all the time.
Yeah.
If you're in the Discord and you see Hawk's name, there's always streaming Tarkov, right? Always happening. Sheev is down there doing things. He's got a watch party tomorrow night. We're doing a pre-show. Hopefully we'll get the Matt Cave in here. I was hoping he was going to be able to send us a little message, but that's cool. We got a couple. We tried out some new features, guys. Let me know in the comments at the end of this whether you guys like this new software. I want to use this for you. I guess it's telling me to make sure to tell you guys to subscribe. So this thing is like, hey, you need this up there right now. But yeah, get down there and subscribe. We're close to 1,000 subs. I really appreciate all the support.
He's so close.
These streams are for you guys. They're not for me. I mean, they are. We talked about this, but they're more for you. I'm here and using this software and trying new stuff for you guys to make the experience better, to make you guys feel like you're part of the community because you are the community. I don't do this without people here watching. You guys are checking it out. I got my friends, but we could do this in the Discord. This is for you guys. So thank you as always for being here. We're gonna close the stream as always. Don't forget to get out there, help control the pet population, get your pet spayed and neutered, and may always the force be with you. We're gonna close it out with our outro.